Elvis Aaron Presley was born on January 8, 1935, in Tupelo, Mississippi, to Vernon Elvis April 10, 1916 to June 26, 1979, and Gladys Love née Smith, April 25, 1912 to August 14, 1958, Presley in a two-room shotgun house that his father built for the occasion. 8. Elvis's identical twin brother, Jesse Garon Presley, was delivered 35 minutes before him, stillborn. 9. Presley became close to both parents and formed an especially close bond with his mother. The family attended an Assembly of God church, where he found his initial musical inspiration. 10. Presley's father, Vernon, was of German, 11. Scottish and English origins. 12. Presley's mother, Gladys, was of Scots-Irish with some French-Norman ancestry. 13. His mother and the rest of the family believed that her great-great-grandmother, Mourning Dove White, was Cherokee. 14, 15, 16. This belief was confirmed by Elvis's granddaughter Riley Keough in 2017. 17. Elaine Dundee, in her biography, supports the belief. 18. Vernon moved from one odd job to the next, showing little ambition. 19, 20. The family often relied on help from neighbors and government food assistance. In 1938, they lost their home after Vernon was found guilty of altering a check written by his landowner and sometime employer. He was jailed for 8 months, while Gladys and Elvis moved in with relatives. 10. In September 1941, Presley entered first grade at East Tupelo Consolidated, where his teachers regarded him as average. 21. He was encouraged to enter a singing contest after impressing his schoolteacher with a rendition of Red Foley's country song, Old Shep, during morning prayers. The contest, held at the Mississippi-Alabama Fair and Dairy Show on October 3, 1945, was his first public performance. The 10-year-old Presley stood on a chair to reach the microphone and sang, Old Shep. He recalled placing 5th. 22. A few months later, Presley received his first guitar for his birthday. He had hoped for something else. By different accounts, either a bicycle or a rifle. 23, 24. Over the following year, he received basic guitar lessons from 2 of his uncles and the new pastor at the family's church. Presley recalled, I took the guitar, and I watched people, and I learned to play a little bit. But I would never sing in public. I was very shy about it. 25. In September 1946, Presley entered a new school, Milam, for 6th grade. He was regarded as a loner. The following year, he began bringing his guitar to school on a daily basis. He played and sang during lunchtime, and was often teased as a trashy kid who played hillbilly music. By then, the family was living in a largely black neighborhood. 26. Presley was a devotee of Mississippi Slim's show on the Tupelo radio station WELO. He was described as crazy about music by Slim's younger brother, who was one of Presley's classmates and often took him into the station. Slim supplemented Presley's guitar instruction by demonstrating chord techniques. 27. When his protege was 12 years old, Slim scheduled him for 2 on-air performances. Presley was overcome by stage fright the first time, but succeeded in performing the following week. 28. Teenage life in Memphis. In November 1948, the family moved to Memphis, Tennessee. After residing for nearly a year in rooming houses, they were granted a two-bedroom apartment in the public housing complex known as the Lauderdale Courts. 29. Enrolled at L.C. Humes High School, Presley received only a C in music in 8th grade. When his music teacher told him that he had no aptitude for singing, he brought in his guitar the next day and sang a recent hit, "Keep Them Cold Icy Fingers Off Me," to prove otherwise. A classmate later recalled that the teacher agreed that Elvis was right when he said that she didn't appreciate his kind of singing. 30. He was usually too shy to perform openly, and was occasionally bullied by classmates who viewed him as a mama's boy. 31. In 1950, he began practicing guitar regularly under the tutelage of Lee Denson, a neighbor 2.5 years his senior. They and 3 other boys, including 2 future rockabilly pioneers, brothers Dorsey and Johnny Burnett, formed a loose musical collective that played frequently around the courts. 32. That September, he began working as an usher at Lowe's State Theater. 33. Other jobs followed: Precision Tool, Lowe's again, and Marl Metal Products. 34. Presley also helped Jewish neighbors, the Fruchters, by being their Shabbos Goy. During his junior year, Presley began to stand out more among his classmates, largely because of his appearance. He grew his sideburns and styled his hair with rose oil and Vaseline. In his free time, he would head down to Beale Street, the heart of Memphis's thriving blues scene, and gaze longingly at the wild, flashy clothes in the windows of Lansky Brothers. By his senior year, he was wearing those clothes. 35. Overcoming his reticence about performing outside the Lauderdale Courts, he competed in Hume's annual minstrel show in April 1953. Singing and playing guitar, he opened with "Till I Waltz Again with You," a recent hit for Teresa Brewer. Presley recalled that the performance did much for his reputation. "I wasn't popular in school. I failed music. Only thing I ever failed. And then they entered me in this talent show. When I came on stage I heard people kind of rumbling and whispering and so forth, 'cause nobody knew I even sang. It was amazing how popular I became in school after that." 36. Presley, who received no formal music training and could not read music, studied and played by ear. He also frequented record stores that provided jukeboxes and listening booths to customers. He knew all of Hank Snow's songs. 37, and he loved records by other country singers such as Roy Acuff, Ernest Tubb, Ted Daffin, Jimmy Rogers, Jimmy Davis, and Bob Wills. 38. The Southern gospel singer Jake Hess, one of his favorite performers, was a significant influence on his ballad singing style. 39. 40. He was a regular audience member at the monthly all-night singings downtown, where many of the white gospel groups that performed reflected the influence of African American spiritual music. 41. He adored the music of black gospel singer Sister Rosetta Tharpe. 38. Like some of his peers, he may have attended blues venues, of necessity, In the segregated South, only on nights designated for exclusively white audiences. 42. He certainly listened to the regional radio stations, such as WDIA-AM, that played race records, spirituals, blues, and the modern, backbeat-heavy sound of rhythm and blues. 43. Many of his future recordings were inspired by local African American musicians such as Arthur Crudup and Rufus Thomas. 44-45. B.B. King recalled that he had known Presley before he was popular when they both used to frequent Beale Street. 46. By the time he graduated from high school in June 1953, Presley had already singled out music as his future. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Thank you.